Well, one of the things that I looked at with the naming ceremony is the tradition in it. It wasn't something that they did just for us. It's something that they have been doing for years, and it's a way to connect. It gives you something to go back and kind of do some research on and look at things. But I thought it was very authentic with the Chiefs there and all of the things that they took us through. Oh, I loved it. The only thing that I regret about getting the Ashanti name, I wish I had have gone through Ancestry before I came here. But and it's something that I'm gonna do when I leave. It's not important that my ancestors came through this port versus going through others, but I thought getting that name was giving me a connection to Africa, and it just made me feel better about my roots. This whole experience of seeing what my ancestors went through, the struggle that they went through, and so many of them did make it to the end. Um, I've always had a connection to the struggle, so to speak, and what African Americans went through going to America. But this was something that I could see, and it was gave me a better foundation for it. Well, it kind of broke my heart to see what they went through and how long they went without being able to take a bath. Their humanity snatched away from them. It also showed me the inhumanity of the people that enslaved the Africans. Going to that river, I tried to put myself in their place. They had traveled so far and so long. At that point, it could have just been another day in their journey, and they had no idea what was to happen next. So I think the river is symbolic because we know what was coming next. They didn't, and I can't imagine how they felt. I'm sure they were uh, glad to be at a river so that they could wash themselves, but what was coming next was going to be worse than what they had already gone through. Well, there's so many highlights on this tour because every stop was different. But I think if I was to take away a thing that I would think is the most important, I would look at the resilience of the people. Because sometimes when people talk about the journey that slaves took, in their minds, they can make it something that wasn't as bad as what it really was. And I think that what I take away from it is the resilience of the African people, how strong they were. It's been said that God picked the Africans for this because nobody else would be able to do it. And I believe that. Well, I'm thankful for the African Connections for creating this tour because I think that there are some things in this tour that if it was done through another company, it wouldn't be the same. And I know that we've heard that, but I believe that is true. When we look at African American studies and going back and getting the true history, because so many times people try to change history to make it favorable to one group or another. And I think we got the truth on this tour, and I thank the African Connections for that. Yes, I would recommend African Connections to a friend. As a matter of fact, when I tell people about my trip to Africa and all of the things that I saw, I'll highlight African Connections because I think that they were a special part of this experience that I had here.